We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
It turns out he wasn't exaggerating, huh? Remember that? These are really amazing times, right? We look at it this way. Every day seems like a miracle. It's a very special time for America, especially if you've been paying attention to the news. Even if you haven't been, if you've been living in America for the past 4 years, you should have an appreciation as to how special this is. What's your favorite part so far? The children being rescued? Peace in the Middle East? Justice for the January 6ers? That's really, really happening? Finally having a border again? On the January 6ers, I just got something that's pretty satisfying. A new report. Acting Attorney General James McHenry, Pam Bondi hasn't been confirmed yet, today fired more than a dozen prosecutors who worked on the 2 criminal investigations into Donald Trump for the special counsel, Jack Smith, saying they could not be trusted to faithfully implement the president's agenda, a Justice Department spokesman said. Wow. Also, the new U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. has opened an internal investigation into the use of an obstruction statute, this white-collar law they used to take down January 6ers, something from the Enron case that they applied to people who showed up at a rally. Totally corrupt, and they're on it, all right? This is fascinating. And so is this. Look at these numbers. Now, maybe they're not huge, but they're actually huge compared to what was happening in the Biden administration, right? The arrests, the deportations that are taking place. This is, not only is it going to save America, it's going to tell the world, show the world, do not come here if you are not authorized and if you intend to break our laws. What did that border look under Joe Biden? What did it look like? Kind of like this, right? Kind of like this. What is, so far, the iconic image of Donald Trump's border? Well, a bunch of guys getting on a plane, going back to where they came from with their criminal records with them. Side by side, right? What's better, Trump's America or Biden's America? It is so clear. It is so clear-cut. Now, one thing that's also very exciting, the creativity that is being employed, American boldness. Look, it is totally reasonable to remove people who are not authorized to be here and send them back to their home countries. Guatemala has been very cooperative. I understand other countries are cooperating. Colombia had a bit of an attitude about it. Did you hear? Colombia, down in South America, said, you can't land here. The president said, no, you're not allowed to land in Colombia with the people who actually are Colombian citizens, not Americans. So President Trump had a few things to say about that, and he hit back hard. Number one, we're going to have a 25% tariff, and then a couple of days after that, it's going to be raised to 50%. All right? Do you really want to mess with this, pal? That happened at 1:28 p.m. How many minutes later did the president down there say, A-OK, you can land? I think it was 1:38 in the afternoon. Can't land here. Change to green light. Come on in. Where's the one with the green? Anyway, they said, no problem, clear to land, come. And they did it about 6 minutes later. Have that little fancy graphic? It's actually not so fancy. There you go. It's green with a thumbs up. Get it? Look, these are things that the president has, the bully pulpit. Joe Biden, you got to be a bit of a bully. You got to be a bully. You can't whisper. This guy knows how to do it, and it's pretty wild to watch. We don't want these characters in America. People like these guys, let's put them up. Serious, bad people, horrible records. Send them back to where they came from. Who can defend their presence in this country? It's indefensible It truly is. So that's why a lot of liberals are talking about, schools and little kids. And no, Tom Homan focused on these guys, all right? True criminals, here illegally, sending them back to their countries of origin. Fair enough? Totally. All right, next, please. One moment. There we go. Just a little sign of how busy President Trump has been. Not 4 press conferences one day. There were actually a half dozen, 2 more in a span of about 30 hours, off of Air Force One and in Air Force One. He is the most active president probably since, what? Have we ever had anybody like this since JFK? It's incredible. And he's not sealed off in the presidential bubble. You ever hear about presidents, oh, we're in the bubble, we're cut off from the people? He won't let himself be cut off from the people. Number one, he likes people, he really does, and he wants to be with them. Watch.
USA, 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 USA,
You get the idea that he just showed up at that casino, the Circa Casino. Why does that keep happening, by the way? He goes to the Circa Casino, and he doesn't just wave. He goes to the craps table next. Look, it's genuine interest and curiosity in people. People are genuinely interested and curious about him. This is how you stay in touch. This is how you don't get cut off from the people. This is how you don't fall prey to that presidential bubble. This is what happens when you fall too deep inside that presidential bubble. Joe Biden, when he went to that Wawa convenience store, anybody?
Hey.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Good. How you doing, man?
And how are you doing today?
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet both of
You got my
This
stuff,
is for
huh?
you, ma'am. And this is for you, sir.
All right. And this is a tip for you. I know it's all been paid.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. President, I'm going to pick up a few pounds here.
And don't forget, we also included drinks for you as well, just to enjoy.
Excellent.
We can take that one. You take that box? Yeah. I'm going to go order a milkshake.
That's everything about it's fake, including his interest in ordering whatever he's about to order, the whole damn thing. It's interesting that Joe is supposed to be the guy from Scranton, the ordinary guy, and President Trump was the elitist. No, it's the opposite, actually. And over the weekend, he did a rally, a small rally, but a rally. And I remember for a moment thinking, well, the campaign's over. Why is he doing this? Then I remember, yeah, this is why he's doing it.
I want to come to Nevada to pay my respects because this is the only Republican win of this state in decades, and it was a very big landslide. So I just came here because I wanted to thank the people of Nevada for giving us such a big win.
I always liked that. He did it the first term, and I always wondered when I was a kid, I would see presidents campaign, and I noticed after they won, they would never really do that again until 4 years later when they wanted people to vote for them again, right? Pick a president. They all they don't really care all that much. They just, they needed votes, but they didn't really need people. You think Obama enjoyed going to Iowa? He'd go there for any other reason other than a real political necessity? Watch President Trump do this, at least during the first year of his second term here, throughout 2017. On a Saturday, normally, a Saturday night, he'd pick a state, any state, sometimes a swing state, sometimes a blue state, sometimes a red state, and have a rally. And it was a great way to the pulse of the people, to know what's going on. The casino, perfect touch. I thought it was great. Oh, maybe you didn't watch the speech? You should. Don't let anybody summarize these speeches for you. This one was only about 45 minutes long, but There are some gems and some insights that, well, I'm learning stuff.
Our country was on the verge of some of the very bad things, and bad things were happening. And now there's light not only over America. I've heard it from even our enemies. They call up and they say, sir, we hate you. We do hate you, but there's light over the world right now. They hate me. Some of them hate me. If they liked me, you got a problem, right? They like Sleepy Joe. What's not to like? You know, they'd call up. It's funny. I was told today by one of the big leaders of the world, would call for a telephone call with the President of the United States a year ago. And they'd say, we'd like to speak with, who is this? It's the head of Germany, the head of, it's, name it, the head of France, the name of any country, it didn't matter. He would never pick up the call. They'd say, he'll call you back in 2 months. 2 months. He has a schedule. He's extremely busy sleeping. No. Macron of France, he'll call you back in 2 months. So 2 months comes along and there's no call. They say, he didn't call. The stories are, I mean, these stories are not very exaggerated. I want to tell you, they're a little bit.
But there are things that you know when you're president about other presidents that most people don't know, and I believe it. And what is his approach now that he's back in the Oval Office and the telephone rings?
The problem I have is that when I speak to and I speak to them immediately, they'll say, could we speak to the president? Would that be possible? We could do it anytime over the next month. They're so used to this, right? I say, no, I'll pick it up right now. Is he on the phone? Yeah, hello, how you doing? That's what, you know, get it over with, right? Get it over with. The only problem, they were so starved for love from the United States, I cannot get them off the phone. I can't get people, if you can't, I say, I have to go now, King, or I have to go now, President. But you can't get them off the phone.
King, President, or whoever it is, it's real. And it's really awesome to hear. It's true that Joe Biden, well, at least it has been previously reported that other world leaders would not take his calls. They declined calls with Joe Biden, not just during Ukraine, but on other matters. Joe Biden just did not carry the prestige and weight that an American president normally would have. All right. Also, had you heard this little gem about the tax on tips or no tax on tips, how he got the idea? I knew it came from a waitress, but I didn't know just how spontaneous it may have been.
But a young waitress came up and I said, how are you doing? And in my restaurant in the hotel in Trump, I said, how are you doing? And she said, not great, because they're after me so viciously for tips. They just want my tip income and they don't believe me and all of this. And she said, it's terrible. You know, sir, you should have no tax on tips. I said, what? She said, what'd you just say? No tax on tips. That was about the amount of my consultation. It's true. No tax. I said, what did you just say? Say those words again. Sir, no tax on tips. I said, thank you very much. You just won the election.
I don't think he's exaggerating. No, that was Hillary Clinton's problem. Whenever it came time to tweet something, there would be 4 committees and 64 people who had to sign off on it, and he's just shooting them off left and right. Yeah, why even run for president if you don't think you have the capacity to lead? If you have to check with 64 people, why even try to be the boss? Anyway, one more.
We got rid of the woke. We got rid of the woke crap. What a lot. What a lot of crap that was. It was, and you know, these people were petrified of it. I'll tell you, these companies, they run these big companies, they were petrified of it. It was like, you know, I don't think they believed it. I'm sure they didn't believe it. Some I know didn't believe it, but they were so afraid.
Afraid. A lot of people afraid. People pushing it, people promoting it, people extolling it were actually afraid. Didn't like it, but they pushed it anyway. Fascinating how that happened and how that can happen and how we can't let it happen again.